Okay, today we're going to talk about compound inequalities. We've talked a little bit about inequalities, and these consist of the words and or. So there's two inequalities joined by a word, so that's compound. So the first one, when the compound inequality is, let's see, get some color here, joined by the word and, then that means that our interval notation will include the overlap or the intersection on the graph. The word or means you're going to put in interval notation all solutions. So let's look at one. So let's do one with or. So we're going to solve both sides, leave the or alone. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. So there's one equation. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Then I'm going to subtract 5. So these are my two inequalities. And I know it's or. So I'm going to be graphing, or not graphing, but I'm going to be putting in solution and interval notation all the solutions. So I graph these like normal. So I'm going to graph both these inequalities. So I need 1 and I need 3 on the graph. So let's graph x is greater than 3. So all the numbers on the number line are bigger than 3. So I know that that should be my arrow, and it doesn't include 3. So I use a parenthesis or an open bracket. X is less than 1, so that means all the numbers on the number line are less than 1. So that would be my arrow for that one. And I know that it doesn't include 1, so I need a parenthesis. And again, the parentheses should face the same way as the arrows. So now I'm going to say, let's see what can be included in our solution. Everything from negative infinity, because we always start from the left. It stops at 1, and I've used parentheses on the infinity, and I've also indicated the parenthesis on the 1, just like the graph. Union, because I'm looking for the intersection, and it starts again at 3. It doesn't include 3, but includes numbers really close to 3. And it goes to positive infinity. Let's look at another one. So again, I'm going to solve each side of the inequality, or the or, and here again, I'm going to put in interval notation all the solutions. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Divide each side by 3. The next one I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I'm going to graph both of those. I need a 2 and a 5 on the graph. The first one, all the values are bigger than 5. It doesn't include 5, so parentheses and all those values to infinity. And here, all the values are bigger than 2. I need a square bracket because there's an equal, and it includes all of those. So all of the solutions start at 2, and they go to positive infinity. Let's look at another one. Let's look at one with and. Again, I'm going to solve both sides. And here, I'm only going to put in interval notation where they overlap, because that is those solutions satisfy both of the equations and have to solve both of the equations. So x is less than 6, and x is greater. I'm going to add 3. That makes it 2. So I need a 2 and the 6. So let's graph all the values that are less than 6. That's all of these. And I need a parenthesis because It doesn't include 6, but all the values on the number line are bigger than or equal to 2, so I need a square bracket, and that is all of those. So they overlap right here. So my interval notation starts at 2, and it's a square bracket, and it stops overlapping at 6, and I had a parenthesis there. So this mimics your graph. Last one, again, I'm going to solve both sides. I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Divide by 3. And I'm only going to put in interval notation the overlap of the graph. And here I'm going to subtract 1. And then I'm going to divide by -4. And we got to remember that when we work with inequalities, the key here is that when we divide by a negative, so when we multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality changes direction. So it's x is less than or equal to 4. So I need 2/3. I need 4. So let's graph everything that is less than 2/3. It does include 2/3. Everything that is less than or equal to 4 would be there. I need a hard bracket facing that way. Where do they overlap? They start overlapping from this one goes to here, and everything less than, so from here over is where they start overlapping. So it comes from -infinity. Again, we always come from the left. The smallest number always goes first in the interval notation, and it goes to 2/3, and there is a hard bracket on 2/3, a parenthesis around the infinity.